Janine, maybe when we do the Q&A, I'd like you to talk a little bit about, because I think people would be interested in how you fund a film like this. And Janine, you will meet. I met at a kind of a dinner. I was giving a talk at the graduation ceremony of an extraordinary Amsterdam sort of art school that had been run by a close friend of mine who was responsible really through the 70s and 80s of setting up the most amazing establishment in Amsterdam called the Mercury Theatre, which was, for that period, was the home to the Wooster Group, you know, Bob Wilson, Nina Simone, the People Show that I was in, an extraordinary. He passed away, and so I was giving you know, a kind of tribute to him, and I met Janine, and she'd seen some of the dance work that I'd done, and she said, "There's an extraordinary piece that you must see." And she basically, thank you Janine, put me together with this extraordinary choreographer, Anne, who sadly can't be here today, but we'll talk about her later. And long story short, I flew some months later to Frankfurt to see a performance of Courtelette, which they did just for me on their rehearsal day. And I took a little camera with me and I filmed a rehearsal just to get a sense of how it might work. And you know, the next day Anne and I had a long conversation about how we might film this. It's a very provocative piece, and it's three women. It has nudity in it. It's highly sexual, but in a kind of reconstituted kind of way. I'd say in many ways, a pure feminist piece. It's extraordinary. And I said to Anne at the time, you do realise that once you film this, it will become even more kind of potent in a way, because that's what film does and camera does. Plus, you're asking me, I'm a man, to film something that is very much a female statement. And I think there will probably be a bit of flack about that as well. And there may well be in an hour's time. But we agreed to proceed. And one of the things she said, "I'm nervous already about the fact that you will take this away from me." And I said, "I won't." But there is, you know, the technical process of making a film is specific, but you will be with me, and it's your choreography, and you will be part of that process. And I said, you need to learn how to use a camera, so you don't need to ask people like me to do this stuff, you know. And interestingly, more and more choreographers, I think, are bringing a camera into the process of choreography. I know that William Forsythe certainly did that, you know, and continues to do that. And I think it's a totally appropriate contemporary tool for the new choreography. So. Well, there'll be lots to talk about afterwards. So, Courtelette, which, by the way, is it's like a cutlet. It's kind of a piece of meat, you know, and it's quite a complex, I think, Flemish pun, which, again, Janine, you might have to explain later on. But I say this with, you know, enjoy Courtelette.